Hey everyone, today I'm going to walk you through a fantastically simple and incredibly fast method for creating that eye-catching shaking text effect for all your video projects, and I'm also going to drop a couple of genuinely smarter workflow tips so you absolutely do not waste precious time posting that new content everywhere. We will be utilizing DaVinci Resolve's powerful fusion page for the actual execution of the shake effect because it offers incredible precision and is completely free to use. But crucially, I will also show you how to transform that potentially long tutorial into bite-sized promotional clips using an automation tool so you can push content out to all your social channels without ever having to babysit tedious uploads. So without further delay or any unnecessary preamble, let's enthusiastically jump right into the software and get this process started for you. First things first, you need to launch DaVinci Resolve and immediately flip your workspace over to that specialized node-based environment we call the Fusion tab. Once there, your next immediate action is to create a Text Plus node and ensure that this specific node is properly selected within the node editor view. Now, direct your attention over to the inspector panel on the right side and carefully type whatever text you desire into the text box. It could be a main title, a sharp headline, or anything else that perfectly fits the narrative of your current video project. It is highly advisable to take a brief moment right now to meticulously dial in your desired font, adjust the size, and set your tracking, because any motion we add next, especially the shake, will actually amplify whatever initial aesthetic look you have already established. Moving on, the next critical step in achieving this effect involves navigating over to the shading tab, which is helpfully located inside that Text Plus node settings area. Within the shading tab, locate and open up the position controls, where you will clearly see the parameters labeled offset X and offset Y waiting for your input. This is where the magic begins. Right-click on each of those offset parameters and carefully select the option that reads Modify With followed by Shake to invoke the procedural control. This single brilliant little Fusion shortcut grants you immediate access to a procedural shake modifier, meaning you completely bypass the tedious chore of manually keyframing a bunch of tiny, jittery movements frame by frame. To access the deeper controls for this new modifier, click that tiny icon that looks like a little keyframe symbol, which will promptly open up the full shake settings window for fine-tuning. By default, the shake preset that Fusion provides often feels a bit too floaty and overly smooth, which can be quite nice for subtle organic movement, but ultimately doesn't deliver that classic, aggressive, impactful camera shake you might be aiming for. If your creative goal is a more staccato, realistic camera shake vibe, you should absolutely pull the smoothness parameter down. I highly recommend trying a value somewhere around 0.15 to 0.25 as a fantastic starting point for experimentation. Next, you must reduce the maximum amount setting to prevent your carefully crafted text from completely flinging itself right off the visible edge of the frame. For reference, something like 2 or 3 pixels is subtle, 5 to 8 is noticeably effective, and 10 plus pixels starts to get truly wild and chaotic. You should also spend some time playing around with the speed parameter, because faster values result in quick, almost nervous little shakes, while slower values will give you a feeling much closer to a handheld camera, gently breathing or shifting its weight. If you are aiming for that professional polish, you absolutely want to include motion blur, because that blur is what truly helps sell the sense of quick motion and effectively hides any tiny frame-by-frame jitter that might otherwise be distracting. To enable this, go back to the main Fusion toolbar, open up the Tools menu, navigate to Settings, and flip that motion blur toggle switch completely on. You should definitely increase the quality setting up to a couple of samples to ensure your resulting blur looks convincingly smooth, and then you can finally adjust the shutter angle setting to perfectly match your desired look. Personally, I generally prefer to start at a 90-degree shutter angle for a very natural-looking blur, but I often bump that value up if the shake itself is very fast and I'm aiming for a more pronounced smear effect. After enabling blur, return to your shake modifier and continue to fine-tune the overall shake amount while keeping that motion blur active, because you can often get away with implementing much more intense movement once the blur starts softening those hard edges. Now let's discuss a couple of really practical, real-world tips that you can apply immediately while you are still tweaking these precise shake settings. For those moments requiring just a touch of subtle, intentional emphasis, consider animating the maximum amount parameter subtly over time so that short, sharp spikes can be perfectly synchronized to the music's beats or any visual impacts on screen, making the tremor feel far more deliberate. You can also cleverly combine this shake with a very slight, almost imperceptible scale keyframe. Think only about 1 to 3% scale up and then immediately back down to successfully simulate the feeling of a powerful camera punch effect hitting the viewer. Crucially, if your text is intended to remain visible on screen for an extended duration, please avoid keeping the shake effect running continuously. Instead, utilize rhythmic bursts that precisely match your underlying edit rhythm so it never degrades into mere background visual noise. If, for whatever reason, you find yourself seriously short on time and you absolutely do not wish to enter the deep realm of Fusion, you can certainly fake a decent effect over in the edit page by nesting your text inside a compound clip and keyframing the position property with a few small, random numerical inputs. But this method is inevitably more manual and far less flexible than Fusion's powerful built-in noise or shake modifier. Okay, so that section thoroughly covers the how-to part of applying this dynamic text effect, but now we need to pivot and focus on the essential workflow component that saves you hours every week. Imagine for a moment that you have meticulously produced a complete 10-minute tutorial featuring this awesome shaking title and several other short punchy moments that you know would absolutely crush it when posted natively on platforms like TikTok or Instagram Reels. You could, of course, manually scrub through the entire footage, precisely cut out every single clip, export each one individually, repost it to all platforms, and then schedule them one by one. Or, much better, you could leverage a dedicated tool like Vizard to dramatically accelerate this entire repurposing process. Vizard's specialized auto-editing feature is designed to intelligently scan your entire full-length video file, automatically find all the short, high-engagement segments, such as those punchy intros, the exact moment the cool effect is first applied, or any truly funny micro-tutorials, and then instantly convert them into perfectly formatted, ready-to-post clips. This automation feature directly translates to massive time savings because it completely removes the mental burden of endlessly hunting through hours of footage and second-guessing which specific moments you think will actually resonate most effectively with your social audiences. Now, you might be thinking, why should I truly care about this specific difference in workflow? The answer is simple. Because consistently posting a steady stream of short, highly polished, and valuable clips is undeniably the single most effective strategy for substantial growth across virtually every major social media platform these days. However, if you happen to be a dedicated solo creator or perhaps part of a very small, lean team, the sheer repetitive grind of manually cutting dozens of distinct clips and then meticulously scheduling every single one of them can quickly lead to serious creative burnout. This is precisely where a tool like Vizard steps in to take over a very significant chunk of that repetitive labor. It extracts those potentially viral moments, automatically formats the clips into the correct aspect ratios for each specific platform, and even offers basic, helpful thumbnail text suggestions to increase click-through rates. Furthermore, you can then utilize the auto-schedule feature to program exactly how frequently you want new posts to go live. Perhaps you select daily, maybe every other day, or whatever specific cadence truly fits your current energy level, and Vizard will reliably queue them all up so you never have to worry about babysitting those individual upload processes again. Now, I certainly am not claiming that Vizard represents the absolute only viable option available. Other excellent tools like CapCut or the venerable Adobe Premiere Pro certainly offer their own neat, mobile-friendly features or robust timeline capabilities. To be fair, CapCut is generally free and incredibly fast for those quick on-the-go mobile edits, and Premiere remains an undeniably powerful industry standard if you greatly prefer that deep, hands-on level of granular control. However, they do come with inherent downsides. CapCut can become quite limited once you need serious scaling capabilities and robust automation features, and Premiere's premium cloud or team features invariably cost money while still demanding a significant amount of manual, repetitive work for effective scheduling and large-scale content repurposing. Vizard occupies a slightly different, specialized niche in this ecosystem. It fundamentally does not attempt to replace highly skilled editors when it comes to complex visual effects work, but it brilliantly streamlines the painful grind of efficiently turning one long video into dozens of short clips and managing their ongoing distribution. For creators who are already committed to producing substantial long-form video content but desperately want to maintain a consistent daily presence with high-quality short clips, this specific automation utility provides a truly massive, immediate time saver. Let's pivot back to the shake effect for just a moment, as there are several other genuinely creative variations you can definitely try out once you have completely mastered these fundamental shaking mechanics. One fantastic technique involves layering multiple text plus nodes, each with slightly offset shake parameters and perhaps even subtly different colors applied, to achieve a really cool cinematic chromatic aberration or a high-frequency vibration look. You can also utilize the shake effect not just on the position property for that intense jolt, but apply it specifically to the rotation property using very small values, perhaps just half a degree up to 2 degrees, to convincingly simulate a subtle camera tilt or slight lens wobble vibe. Another powerful trick is to animate the smoothness parameter itself in distinct bursts, transitioning smoothly from high smoothness, that flowy feel, directly into a very low smoothness, that jittery feel can create a highly realistic simulation of a sudden, sharp impact. When it finally comes time to render your final video, if you genuinely plan on utilizing those resulting clips across many different social platforms, it is always best practice to first export a very high-quality master file, perhaps using ProRes or DNxHR, and then allow Vizard or your broader editing workflow to handle the final transcoding down to the specific platform sizes. This approach ensures that you preserve the absolute maximum amount of visual fidelity, which is critical for any future re-exports or potential edits you might need to make down the line. Let's walk through one more concise, real-world workflow example to tie this all together. Imagine you recorded a detailed 12-minute deep dive video that features one excellent technical demonstration and that neat on-screen graphic where your new shaking title appears. You would then upload that single master file into Vizard, allow the system to automatically detect all the potential highlights, and then you simply select the specific clip that showcases your newly created shake effect in action. Vizard will instantly generate multiple differently sized versions optimized for various platforms, and crucially, it can even automatically schedule them to begin posting throughout the entire upcoming week without any further input from you. In the meantime, you must absolutely keep your original DaVinci Resolve project saved safely as the ultimate source file so that if you ever decide to tweak the shake intensity or perhaps create a completely different color version, you can easily re-export a fresh master and seamlessly rerun the clip creation process, eliminating the need to ever redo all that tedious work manually. To conclude this segment with some final overarching thoughts, Fusion's built-in shake modifier is undeniably a small but incredibly powerful feature that makes text feel genuinely alive and significantly more punchy, and the addition of motion blur is truly what ultimately sells the perceived speed to the viewer. But please, do not allow yourself to get tunnel vision on just one cool effect. Creating one great effect is a wonderful achievement. But successfully scaling your content output across platforms is what genuinely builds long-term momentum for your brand. The most effective strategy is to utilize your powerful manual tools like Resolve for precise creative control over the elements, and then leverage dedicated automation tools like Vizard specifically for maximizing distribution volume and streamlining that constant content pipeline. This approach truly embodies the best of both digital worlds. You get to craft those crisp, intentionally designed visual effects in Resolve, and then you confidently let automation handle the necessary repetitive grunt work of turning those creative gems into a steady, reliable stream of engaging social posts. All right, and with that, we have officially covered everything needed. A complete walkthrough of applying that satisfying shaking text in DaVinci Resolve Fusion, alongside essential workflow tips for leveraging that single video into many social-ready clips using Vizard's capabilities. If you actively experiment with different shake values or try out some of the more creative layering techniques we discussed, you will very quickly develop an intuitive feel for precisely what visual style looks best and performs best for your specific niche audience. I will catch you all in the very next video. And just as an idea, if there is enough interest, I can absolutely show a quick focused Vizard demo next, where we take that same 10-minute tutorial and successfully schedule a full week's worth of social clips in under 5 actual minutes. Remember that every single creative decision you make in your editing suite, no matter how small, contributes to the overall perceived quality of your final product. Good communication in video relies heavily on anticipating what your audience already knows versus what they need to learn right now. Always prioritize a strong visual hook in the first 3 seconds of any short-form content to maximize initial viewer retention figures. Mastering a single, powerful effect like this shake can significantly elevate the perceived production value of your entire body of work. Think about how much easier it is to create a library of content rather than scrambling every single day to produce something new from scratch. Embrace the fact that software is designed to handle the repetitive math, freeing up your precious brainpower for genuine creativity. The modern creator economy rewards consistency far more than sporadic bursts of unattainable perfection. When you use automated tools, you are not being lazy. You are simply being strategically efficient with your most valuable resource, your focused time. Consider the different and emotional responses that various levels of shake intensity, from subtle tremor to violent judder, can evoke in your viewers. Every time you refine a template, you are essentially building reusable speed into your future production pipeline. Don't forget that vibrant color grading can also interact beautifully with motion blur to enhance the overall dynamic feel of your text elements. Platform algorithms favor content that is native and fits the expected aspect ratio, which is a key reason for using automated resizing tools. If you are striving for authentic connection, make sure your on-screen text still reads naturally, even when the underlying footage is undergoing some dramatic visual distortion. Think about using these techniques in your future educational series openers to immediately signal high energy and production quality. The small investment in learning a node-based modifier like shake pays huge dividends in creative freedom down the road. Never underestimate the power of a well-timed, almost subliminal visual effect to keep a viewer engaged through a longer explanation. Always remember to save iterative versions of your project files so you can always roll back to a previous, working state if a new experiment goes unexpectedly sideways. The digital creator space demands both artistic flair and rigorous, systematic distribution efforts to truly succeed. Streamlining your post-production process frees up entire afternoons. You can reinvest into shooting better source footage or developing even cooler effects. Experiment with the blend modes when you layer those colored text nodes for even more unique color distortions on top of your physical shake. A subtle rotation shake combined with a small position shake often mimics human error or environmental vibration far more convincingly than one single parameter alone. The goal is to always make your text feel like an active, intentional element of the scene, not just a static label slapped on top later. When you think about scaling, always think platform first. A great desktop video might need significant reframing to work as a compelling vertical story. The automation tools discussed here are best used to support your high-effort creative moments, not replace them entirely. Consider how a quick burst of intense shake can serve as a visual full stop or a powerful exclamation point at the end of a key statement in your narration. Think of scheduling automation as setting up a digital content delivery service that works while you sleep or focus on your next big idea. Every minute you save manually scheduling is a minute you can spend perfecting the nuances of your next visual effect or script. The beauty of Fusion is its non-destructive nature, allowing you to continually revisit and refine those complex node trees without consequence. When you're making content for social media, remember that shorter attention spans mean every single visual choice needs to earn its screen time very quickly. Embrace the fact that free, professional tools like DaVinci Resolve give you world-class capabilities right out of the box, democratizing high-end video production. Take pride in the small details because those details are precisely what separate amateur work from truly polished, professional-grade visual communication. Keep experimenting with these modifiers until the shake feels intrinsically tied to the emotional weight of the words being presented on screen. Mastering the interplay between motion and blur is the secret sauce for making any on-screen graphic feel dynamic and grounded in its environment. Your long-form content is the intellectual foundation, and your short-form clips are the powerful, attention-grabbing advertisements for that foundation. So go forth, apply that precise Fusion shake, use automation to conquer the posting grind, and watch your content presence expand significantly this week.